Today, I'm going to be discussing the concept of a term in physics called impulse. And the reason why that is because a lot of times golfers get it mixed up thinking that when it comes to hitting the golf ball efficiently, that they're hitting it with their body. Now, that can be a feel for some, but from a scientific standpoint, what's actually occurring is that we're moving our body in space to transfer energy from our body segments into the golf club to hit the golf ball, because ultimately our goal was to get this club head to land on the golf ball in the most efficient way. And our body is the support system to transfer that golf club in the right space. So we're going to be discussing the concept of impulse and teaching you to think of that concept using an analogy of gas and brakes within a car to help you to understand how to efficiently make better golf swings and increase your club head speed with less effort. So let's get into the video. I hate to admit this, that I was once in your shoes where I was scrolling on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok on the latest golf tip to help me improve my golf game. Did that work for me? Maybe for about a few days or a week, but it never helped me improve long term. So what I learned and what you need to learn is that you need to know what your body can do physically and also what your most optimal golf swing is to help you improve your golf game. So how does that come into picture with me? Well, I will help you to understand your most optimal golf swing using both a TPI physical assessment to see what you can do physically, along with Sportsbox AI technology to help you to understand what your body is currently doing, and then also tracking the progress of specific parameters that we focus on to help you to improve your golf game. Ready to take action to improve your golf game on a long-term basis? Comment down below the word assess and let's get started. So, as mentioned, we're going to be discussing the topic of impulse and how we can use that factor within physics to apply to our golf swing. So, impulse is simply a change in the momentum of an object. And momentum uses two factors. It is mass and velocity. So velocity also includes both the speed at which something goes, so acceleration or deceleration, but also the direction as well. So I want to use the analogy of a car. So when it comes to a car, obviously, say for example, if you're trying to make a sharp turn when it comes to driving. So at one point, you're stepping on the gas to accelerate, but then there needs to be a certain distance in which we start to brake in order to have enough time to make that turn, right? You wouldn't simply be driving and pressing the gas the whole time and then from there, then trying to turn, because that can cause an accident and you veer off. So it's the same concept when it comes to the golf swing. We need a change in that momentum in order to change direction from the backswing to the downswing. And so, just like the car, how you have gas and brakes, I want to teach you guys how to use each of your legs conceptually in order to have a more efficient golf swing. Because essentially, what we're trying to do is transfer energy from our body into the golf club. That's simply the main objective. There's nothing else. So, I want you guys to think of gas and brakes, just like that car analogy. So within the backswing, because a lot of times amateurs think that we're simply turning and turning within our golf swing. When in actuality, if you want to be dynamic and efficient, that is not what is happening. So I want you to think of the lead leg, and this is for the backswing. So we're starting off with the backswing. For the lead leg, it is going to be the gas, right? And our trail leg is going to be our brakes. So why do I say that? Because in order to create momentum, we need it to come from somewhere, right? Newton's law is that in order to change the direction of an object, there needs to be a force from outside that has to occur. And so that force is going to be coming from the lead leg as we start the backswing. So here, when I set up with this golf club, right, with this massive golf club, there's a change in the velocity and the momentum, right? It's starting at 0, and then we're increasing it from there. So here, as you can see, rather than trying to have a slow takeaway and trying to do things slowly, rather we need to be thinking of getting the gas pedal to start. So from here, I'm going to feel as if the lead leg is actually what starts to get that club back, right? Here. So I'm pushing from my lead leg. That's the gas, right? However, because we have to start to change directions and move the golf club forward, our trail leg is our brake. So because if I start to press the gas and just keep going and going and going and going and going, I don't have enough time to start moving that way because the golf swing is 1 second. So we need both the gas and then the brake to start to give us that time window in order to change directions. So, and the mistake a lot of amateur golfers make is that either one, they have the gas going for too long, so that impulse is not enough, because in order to increase our impulse, we need to either have force over a longer period of time, or we need a higher force over a shorter period of time. And so the problem is most amateurs, when they're using the gas with that lead leg, either one, they don't even have enough force coming from here. So it's a matter of this instead of being more dynamic. And that creates more time, which we don't need. We want to shorten that time frame. And then also, they don't break enough. So from here, if they keep going, then they don't have enough time to move the other direction. So I want you to think of the lead leg as the gas, the trail leg as the brake. And so I want you to imagine as if you're almost trying to make a sharp turn, right? So then as soon as you start that gas, that you start to press the brakes right after. So my lead leg is going to start that gas first, and then after, my trail leg is going to be the brake. And then from there, that is what gets the golf club to move up. Rather than thinking of consciously moving the club up with your arms, it should be coming from the bottom and then transfer of energy to that golf club, just as like we've been talking about. So again, I want you to feel as if instead of just like that car, I need to start it off, right? Get the gas pedal going. And then as soon as you see that, you can see how my trail leg is the brake, and then that gets the club up. And that brake then now will then start me in the direction of my downswing. So we're going to discuss now what you should think about with the downswing in order to get the most efficient speed and also get the club in the right direction to have an efficient golf swing. Now that we understand that for the backswing, that our lead leg serves as the gas pedal and our trail leg serves as the brake in order to get the club up efficiently and create a proper impulse, now we need to worry about the downswing. And so, for example, with that car analogy, after making that sharp turn and us decelerating with that brake, now from there, in order to start driving fast again and reach our same speed, then the gas pedal needs to go again. So this is the downswing. So after I get that gas pedal going and then get that brake, now the momentum of that club moves up, but now I need to get my direction to change. So from there, once I get that brake of the trail leg, now the trail leg now serves as the gas, right? Like this. Then from there, because we get that to serve as the gas, right? The lead leg will serve as the brake in order to get that club head onto the golf ball. Because if I don't have a brake, then I would just be constantly going and moving forward without ever getting that golf club to the golf ball. So again, we get that gas pedal going with the lead leg, trail leg serves as the brake going up, and then once we get starting the downswing, now the trail foot serves as the gas and the lead leg serves as the brake. And the feeling you're going to have is that you're actually pushing away this direction as the gas. And as you can see, now that transfers that pressure onto my lead leg, and then that gets to serve as the brake, and then we release the golf club. And so it's really important after now understanding this concept is the timing at which you do this, right? Because the concept of impulse is solely on timing, the change in direction, so the time. So I'm going to give you guys a couple drills to help you to understand this so you can apply this analogy and this concept into your golf swing. Bringing out the kettlebell using the infamous pendulum drill, the momentum drill. Now I'm going to teach you the timing at which the gas and the brakes in each direction should be changing. So because impulse and velocity is all about direction and also the golf swing. So let's say if this was a number line. So my backswing will be moving in the negative direction, and then my downswing will be moving in the positive. So when it comes to creating that bigger impulse, right? So either less force over a longer period of time, or more force over a shorter period of time. And preferably for amateur golfers, I'm leaning for you guys to get that bigger force over a shorter period of time, because if you have a longer period of time but you don't have enough force, now that system is negated. So but as you set up with the pendulum, with the momentum drill using the kettlebell, as you see here, this is the gas, right? So in order for me to actually get to push off my lead leg as the gas, I need to move onto it, right? So here, this way. Then, so as you can see, now that starts that movement of that kettlebell. So, but as you can see here, once it reaches past my trail thigh, now that brake is already applied. So again, because if I keep going this way and that brake doesn't apply soon enough, now that kettlebell is outside my stance and I'm starting to sway. And that's the typical issue that we see with a lot of golfers when thinking of weight shift, is that time is too long and they're not creating enough force. So now the impulse drops and they can't change directions effectively. So again, I'm going to move on to my lead leg to then use it to push, and then now my right leg serves as that brake. And now as you can see, now I'm creating that change in that negative direction of that kettlebell to start off that momentum. So then now, how do we do it with the downswing, right? So we know that the right leg serves as the gas and the lead leg serves as the brake coming down. However, when it comes to the backswing, first and foremost, that the backswing actually ends, the downswing starts before the backswing actually ends, right? And the reason why that is because, as we know, in order, just like with the car analogy, in order to actually turn, right, that brake is already applied sooner than that. So that's the same thing when it comes to the golf swing, so we can move the other direction. So from there, because now I have that brake, now as the momentum of this kettlebell moves up, now I can counter that and get that gas to go from the trail leg. And then that brake from the lead leg is actually happening before lead arm parallel in the downswing. And you can see it with this momentum drill. As I push off that lead leg, then I brake here. Now it swings, but by the time it's already swinging up, now I'm applying that gas to the trail leg, and then the lead leg then gets this kettlebell to move up again. And so I really like this drill because more weight, when we have more weight, we naturally move better because we can't just use our muscles. Instead, we have to use the whole system. So now what I'm going to do, using my pendulum, I'm going to teach you guys a drill you can do to really apply this concept with the golf club. First, we have our weighted drill to help us to understand, stay at home. But then now we're going to apply it to the golf club so you can transfer this concept to your golf swing on a consistent basis. Now, after discussing the concept of impulse and understanding the different directions and how we need to apply this principle to transfer energy into the golf club, onto the golf ball, that's our main goal. Now I'm going to teach you this drill that I like to call the stomp drill, right? So the stomp drill is where all we're going to do is set up, and I want you to have it where you start to bring your feet up and down very quickly. So I want you to start slowly first. So it'll be like this, marching back and forth. And so if you look at my new training aid, the pendulum here, as I stomp back and forth, you can see that this pendulum is actually swinging. And what this signifies is impulse, or that gas and that brake. So if I start here, I get onto it, and then now after that I brake, right? And so that's how fast you want that impulse to be. And the faster that change in direction happens, then the bigger impulse we can create. So here, just like this. So now, eventually, I want you to start to increase the pace of that, right? Because then, now what happens is, when you get to the golf club, I want you to keep stomping, start to increase the pace. So going from slow to a little bit faster. And then now that you have this cue, what happens is that now you're going to go here and then there, right? So that's gas, brake, just like this. And the reaction with the pendulum, you can see how it swings, right? So that's that acceleration in the negative direction. But as you see, when I start to now move this way, so I'm pushing using that trail leg coming down as the gas, now you can see how it moves in the positive direction. And then from there, my lead leg serves as the brake because it comes back again, right? So I want you to take some swings where you start slow. And when you do this, kind of almost as if when you start to kind of have a waggle with your golf swing, is that's literally the same exact movement. And so now, when you start to increase the pace, now you have it now where that body is the body segments are transferring the energy because of that increase of impulse to the golf club, right? And so this may seem like it is swaying, but actually what it is pressure shift. So, but within that pressure shift, we're creating more force, right? That more force over that shorter period of time, then now we have a better golf swing for more speed and more efficiency. So again, I want you to start slow, start to increase the pace a little bit, and then from there, then swing the golf club. And you'll see, I'm gonna make a slow-mo of it just right after this. When I do this, I want you to have that pendulum to move back and forth, and you'll feel your glutes, specifically your glute medius, because those muscles are what's going to serve as your brakes. So from here, now, as soon as I stop, I keep going until I want to hit the ball. Then I go here. Now that gas and brake is very quick, and that pendulum swings back. And then as I come down, then from there, now you'll see it move in the other direction. So I'm going to do a full swing here. Just like that. I'm going to break this down in slow-mo right after. So the whole point of this drill, the stomp drill, and also using the momentum drill with the kettlebell, is to get you to create a bigger impulse to transfer that energy into the club head more efficiently. Because amateur golfers tend to have it where they take too long of time and don't create enough force in order to even put that energy from the golf club into the golf ball. So that creates a power leak. And also as well, the thing that you'll find doing this drill and applying this concept is that it's less thinking involved, because now you're reacting to your movement of your body. And then as you can see, now because of that principle, now the golf club just lands on the golf ball rather than you trying to control it and have specific movements. So another interesting thing is that that's why a lot of times with swing changes, that if you try to get into positions very slow and segmented, but then all of a sudden when you apply that amount of force, now all of a sudden those positions change. So rather, I want you to think in this concept using gas and brake, so you can have this feel when you're on the golf course and on the driving range, rather than thinking of the club. So from here, again, stomp back and forth. And as you can see, this pendulum is moving back and forth. It's shaking this way. And I want it to swing. Then from there, Now you swing more efficiently, creating that bigger impulse. So I hope that video helps you, and I hope you get to take away this concept using the principle of impulse to help you to be a better golfer and also increase your club head speed more effortlessly. Have a good day.